Today's video is all about Christmas train layouts. Christmas time is always a good time of year to be a rail fan because model train displays have been a holiday tradition for well over 100 years, and no city showcases this better than Baltimore, Maryland. Christmas train gardens are an iconic staple of the city's holiday festivities, with traces going all the way back to 1917. And in today's video, we're going to look at many of the layouts that keep this amazing tradition alive in the present day. 12 of them to be exact, and I have only 24 hours to do it, so let's go visit 12 Christmas train displays in just 24 hours. And we'll start our journey off with a layout that I've been visiting since I was in elementary school, the Ellicott City Volunteer Fire Department. This station has been putting together a train display for almost a century, with photos dating back as early as 1933, and the display has certainly come a long way since then, with trains now running from floor to ceiling. This layout is always beautiful. I loved the Harry Potter scene they added this year, with many scenes from the movies recreated. They also took advantage of Menard's new dinosaur train set, creating a whole prehistoric section of the layout featuring a volcano and plenty of dinosaurs in Christmas hats, which is something everyone needs to see at some point. I love the CP Holiday Train and Western Maryland Decapod they were running on the main level as well. This layout is always stellar, and I'm glad I got to visit again this past season. Rolling right along into our next layout, and we're back at another fire station, the Arbutus Volunteer Fire Department. This layout was a total surprise. I had never been to this display before and had no idea what to expect, but I was blown away when I walked into the department's basement to find this. Not one, but 3 layouts with some very unique details I've never seen before on a train display. The first layout we checked out was this Owen standard gauge display that used pop-up books to create the scenery. I thought this was so inspired. I'd never seen anyone do this on a layout before. The centerpiece of the exhibit was this super impressive S-gauge layout. First of all, it was very cool seeing S-gauge get used for a big public train display, since that almost never happens. But that wasn't the only reason this layout stood out to me. Take a look at how many figures and small details are placed throughout the scenes. That Raven Stadium football field has to have at least 500 figures just on its own. They even had people carrying a previous year's train display down the street. 3 scales of trains ran around a birthday cake to celebrate the department's 30th train garden, and there was a tribute to the penny, a great-looking scrapyard, a train that almost hit itself, and so many custom buildings. On the far side of the room from the entrance, they had another S-gauge layout in a more traditional Christmas style with Department 56 Snow Village buildings. I was absolutely blown away by this layout, and if you're ever in the Baltimore area around Christmas time, make sure to check this one out. After the Arbutus layout, I was already completely satisfied with my trip. I knew there were many more layouts to come, but I didn't know that the next display would captivate me the same way Arbutus did. But what can I say? Sometimes the best train displays show up in the most random places. This is the Marley Station Mall, which has unfortunately clearly seen better days. Many tenants and anchor stores have moved out, with only a few retailers hanging on in this era of online shopping. However, the train garden put together by the Emmanuel Lutheran Church inside of this mall has enough heart and enough joy to fill the entire rest of the shopping center. I was absolutely taken aback by how much effort had been put into this layout. There were so many unique scenes that I don't even know where to start. The first thing you see when you walk in is a Willy Wonka display that faithfully recreates many of the iconic scenes from the book and movie, and even features a working conveyor belt with everlasting gobstoppers and Lionel's Willy Wonka-inspired train set. As you keep walking, there's interactive slot cars and even rail bikes that visitors can race. I have never seen anyone recreate these in a model train layout, and this was so clever to see. Thomas fans are definitely taken care of here as well, with this large portion of the main layout dedicated to our favorite blue tank engine. The real standout in this scene is Mount Rushmore, both the real-life version and the Thomas and Friends Mount Rushmore. And check out how good those handmade faces look. That James face is on point. But this next scene just completely wowed me. This is an entire Where's Waldo scene recreated in O-Gauge. The attention to detail here was unlike anything I've seen before. Every single person and item in that book was crafted in 1:48 scale for the scene, from the trains themselves to the wind-up knob on top of the blue engine, to the aliens and people. Everything that was in that scene in the book was here in model form. It was just too fantastic to even capture on video what I'm talking about. There was a tribute to Watership Down, the local radio station, but my two favorite parts of the layout were these. Two of my favorite childhood movies and TV shows recreated in model train form. First being Andy's room from Toy Story with all the classic characters, and Bikini Bottom with no details left unnoticed, including the Patty car from the movie, Sandy's treehouse, and every character from the show. I really don't even know how to tell you guys just how in awe of this train garden I was. The time and care it took for these volunteers to put this together was so obvious, and this display really deserves an entire video dedicated to itself. This layout had a lot of heart put into it, and by the end of the day, that's what having a train layout's all about. This display just had that wow factor for me, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. It's time to say goodbye to the Marley Station train garden and get back to the fire station circuit. Next up, we are at Engine House 45 for yet another super impressive layout. Much like Marley Station, this layout featured many scenes inspired by movies and TV shows like Moana, K-pop Demon Hunters, which I know nothing about to be honest, Christmas Vacation, Peanuts, and the list goes on. My favorite thing about this layout was how many lights there were on it, and not just on the buildings and accessories, but the way they lit the snow or had atmosphere lighting in the scenes. It was really nice to look at and really made the layout come to life. I'm glad they had a day and night cycle on this display as well too, because that made the lighted features stand out even more. just like that, we're back to another shopping mall, the Shops at Kenilworth. I visited this layout in 2023 and was ecstatic about seeing it again. This layout has been put together every year by the same volunteers for at least 2 decades now, and it's great to see what a staple of the community it's become. There were many families who you could tell had come to the mall just to see this layout and had made a whole evening out of it, ordering pizza and trying to complete the scavenger hunt given out to visitors. Overall, just a really great vibe at this layout. It's another awesome one. Here's something different, a train garden inside a subway station. Our next stop is the Mandawan Metro subway station on Liberty Heights Avenue. Unfortunately, it looked like a derailment on the layout had shorted out the 2 operating loops of track when I was there, but there was still plenty of action accessories on this layout to keep it entertaining. It's pretty cool that the subway employees spent some of their downtime making a layout for their riders. Here's more proof that fire stations in Baltimore love trains. We're here at the White Marsh Fire Department. This layout is huge and features so many staples of a classic Christmas train display. There are hundreds of Department 56 and Limax buildings with trains operating on multiple levels and some really well put together lighting. I love the way they put lights around the layout to light it up from the spectator's point of view rather than just using the pre-existing overhead lights in the room. It really helps make this layout feel professional, which it is. And considering how many years this fire station has been putting this event on, I'm sure they'll continue to deliver for years to come. Inside this unassuming basement of a church was the Maranatha Chapel's train garden. There wasn't a whole lot going on when I was there, probably because the day I visited was their last day operating the garden, but I still really liked seeing this 4-level Christmas tree with operating trains they had at the entrance. They also had a great amusement park scene with a number of operating rides. Other than that, not a whole lot to point out about this display, but it's always great seeing these communities embrace our favorite hobby. And here we are back with another stellar one, and yet another fire station, the Wise Avenue Fire Department. I think most people who frequent these train gardens every year will say that this layout is a favorite, and it's clear to see why. I loved the size, the height, the amount of trains running, and especially the variety and notoriety of engines they were using. This layout definitely had the best roster of trains and rolling stock, including a big boy, the CP Holiday Train, the NS 911 First Responders Unit, and plenty of other impressive engines and cars. There were also dozens of custom animated scenes on this layout, maybe even hundreds honestly, which really brought everything in this display to life. After Wise Avenue, I went back to my Airbnb for the night before hitting a couple more layouts in the morning and concluding my 24-hour Christmas train layout extravaganza. The next morning, I was up early to check out the Rawlings Conservatory layout inside of a really nice botanical garden. Before finding the trains, I got distracted by some koi fish, but eventually made it to the layout, which was a smaller but very nice U-shaped O-gauge layout. For starters, I was in awe of these huge railroad paintings that were hung around the room. I personally think that C&O frame would look great in my garage, so Rawlings Conservatory hit me up. It was so neat to see the different approaches these layout designers all took in these different displays, and there was plenty of detail eye candy on this layout as well. If you pull up to a model train layout and also see real trains, you know you're in the right place. Our second to last stop was the Glenn L. Martin Aviation Museum. This layout really brought the community into the construction of it, with local retirement homes having their senior citizens make buildings and different scenes that tie directly into Baltimore's history. No detail was forgotten about on this layout, even down to the Baltimore crabs and crab seasoning at this cookout. You can tell the visitors to this train display really loved their massive Disney World scene, equipped with the park train, monorail, castle, parade, and even the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad roller coaster. Even the Blues Brothers were there. Plus a handmade McDonald's with a full detailed interior. Overall, just a really fantastic display with so much attention to detail. This brings us to our final layout of the video, the Dundalk Historical Society. This is a layout I visited in 2023, and it's definitely expanded a bit since then. It's super cool to see the way they construct this layout to fit in the space available to them, which gives it a really unique shape. One new addition I noticed was this Lego roller coaster, and I loved the racing Amtrak trains on the top level. I hope you guys enjoyed visiting all 12 of these train displays with me. It's always great seeing groups get the wonderful hobby of trains out and in front of the general public. I can't wait to do this again next year, and if you want to visit any of these train layouts for yourself, more information will be in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.